What's up guys? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you another Pokemon TCGO battle. And we've got a new-ish deck. It's a deck format that's been around since Noble Victories, but not a deck I think I've featured on here. Not recently anyhow. Not really my favorite deck for this format, but kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I didn't want to post a third Chandelure match in a row. As much as I love that deck, maybe you guys might not want to see that again. So just kind of threw together a whatever Electrode deck because I haven't played it at all since Next Destinies came out, and figured should at least make for a quick decent match, and that's what I got here. Turned out to be a pretty good match, even though I can't say I really like playing the deck. So I get a Terrakion lead here, which normally is terrible, but with this deck is actually more manageable than with most, just because you're gonna blow up and put energy everywhere anyhow, so charging him up isn't usually that big of a deal. And I see a Reshiram in the lead, so it looks like I'm fighting another fire deck. Turns out this is Reshiram again. Like I said last time, these decks seem to be really popular on TCGO, a lot more than they are at real tournaments, or at least I seem to run into them quite often, which is understandable. I mean, it's a fun deck to play, and it can win games. So anyhow, I get to go first. I get a pretty good setup. I got that turn 1 collector, so I've got my Voltorbs ready to go. Go ahead and grab a Kyurem because fire. Didn't want to pull out Kyurem EX just yet. Figured I'd try to spread a little damage with regular Kyurem and then bring in Kyurem EX to finish up. So I am going to go ahead and attach the Rainbow Energy to Terrakion. I could have probably just gone for the N first and maybe got a Prism Energy, so I didn't have to take that 10 damage. That would have potentially allowed me to survive a Blue Flare, but I'm really not that attached to Terrakion. I actually would prefer to be attacking with Kyurem here, so whatever. I just threw the energy on there. Yeah, whatever. So, my opponent P-commed for an Emboar there, which is weird since she didn't have a Tepig on the bench. Don't know what that was about, but anyhow, if she wanted it, obviously I didn't want her to have it, so I went ahead and played N to make her shuffle it back in, and we get 2 more Reshirams coming down. So, Reshiram I'm actually okay with, as long as we don't see a Emboar. It's not going to be a problem because it can't get the energy it needs to attack. So there she goes for the Juniper. She actually discards an Emboar, which means she may only have 1 left, depending on how her deck's built. It's possible she could run 3. Most, I think, only run 2, though. So, yeah. I top deck the Electrode here, and I probably should have just exploded right here because I have both of my Mewtwo's in my hand. That means they would be safe. There's no chance of them getting discarded with a whatever Electrode's Poke Power is called. In the end, I decide I'll just kind of split my odds, play one down naked on the bench, and then hope I don't discard the other one, but actually draw into it again right away. So that works out. It means I'll still have them both if I need them. And now I can just blow up and get some energy. So I hit 2 here, and I had to discard my Shaman. That's pretty unfortunate. I actually forgot to add Super Rod into the deck when I recorded this. Actually, I still haven't done it because I don't plan on playing this deck again. Just figured I'd take a video with it, try to get a decent video since it's something new. But if I were to play the deck again, I would obviously put at least 1 Super Rod. This deck could actually maybe do with 2, just in case things like that happen where you discard something you might need later, like a Shaman. But do hit enough energy to go ahead and Land Crush here. That puts him at 120 damage. which will let him kill me with Outrage, but she could have killed me with Blue Flare anyhow, so I wasn't too worried about it. Kyurem's going to be ready to go, and I'll actually be able to go for an N next turn and put her at 4. And since she still doesn't have an Emboar out, that's going to be really advantageous for me. It's going to make it that much harder for her to get that going. And the longer I can keep Emboar off the field, the better. So down goes Terrakion. I'm down 2 prizes now, but I'm actually feeling pretty comfortable. One of the advantages of actually running this deck is you really can try to have an answer for everything. Just based on what your opponent's playing, that's what you're going to go to. So obviously the Terrakions are in there for Eels. We've got Kyurem and Kyurem EX for Reshiflosion and Reshibor, and then Mewtwo because it's Mewtwo. And finally, there was that one Reshiram EX that was basically for Durant. But yeah, this deck really does allow you to kind of counter everything if you draw well. And I'm going to go ahead and use my twins there, get my other Electrode up just in case I need it later. And I'm going to grab a catcher with my second card. That's going to allow me to catcher up this big fat Pignite. And that way when I Glaciate, I'm still going to kill the Kyurem because it already had 120 damage. And I actually hit Pignite for 60 and make it hard for her to get off and attack this turn. She's going to need a switch to be able to do that. And even if she gets that, she still is going to need Emboar because she only has 1 energy on the board right now on that other full art Reshiram back there. So turns out she doesn't have the cards that she needs to get out of active. That is awesome for me because it means not only is this Pignite going to die, the Tepig on her bench is actually going to go down this turn, and that is going to wipe the board of pigs. So it's going to be even harder for her to get Emboar up here, and these Reshirams just are not going to be able to stack up to my onslaught of water type attackers without the Emboar to stream their energies. So I am in a really fantastic position right here. I've got an untouched Kyurem, I've got Kyurem EX ready to go, got another Electrode, and I'm actually at a spot where it wouldn't hurt too badly to explode again. I can afford to give up a prize. But my opponent draws pretty well or had some options. 2 more Tepigs hit the bench, and she actually gets off a plus power here. So that is going to let this Blue Flare take out my Kyurem, and that's unfortunate because it means I'm not going to be able to spread damage to the bench Tepigs. So it is going to give her a chance to get an Emboar on the field and maybe try to make a comeback. So I'm still in okay position though. Like I said, I do have that massive Kyurem EX that is going to be a huge pain to take down, especially since all of her Reshirams now have 30 damage on them, and that means that I don't even need to use Hail Blizzard to take them out. Frozen Wings is going to do enough. With weakness, it'll hit for 120. Since I've already taken prior damage, they will just die. So here, I make a bit of a risky play, but really not that risky for me because my board position is stronger than hers. I go for the N. It is going to stick me with a very small hand, but it's also going to put her at only a 3-card hand. And again, this is all in an effort to keep that Emboar off the field. She had quite a large hand before that, and I just really wanted to try and prevent her from setting up so that I can finish off the game with this Kyurem EX. At this point, I do pretty much have the game. Well, not quite. If she manages to get a Blue Flare off this turn, she could potentially take me out with the other Reshiram next turn. So there's a chance there, but I'm feeling pretty good. And then I top deck another N. So this is a game where I just drew really well, got exactly the card I needed when I needed it. And yeah, she did hit the Juniper off of the N last time, so let's just enter again and make sure that nothing happens. I'm looking here through my discard pile to see if there was anything I wanted to junk arm for, but I don't need anything. I've got Mewtwo ready to go if I need him, and Curum's just going to keep taking prizes. So, yep. Put her back down to 3. That means Embor again, going to be hard to get. And take my 5th prize. So now everything she has on the board dies next turn. On top of that, I do have enough energy for a Hail Blizzard now, just for overkill's sake. There's not really anything she could do to prevent me from taking a prize with Frozen Wings, but I like to have the option. So she does really the only thing she can here. She collectors for a Cleffa, actually manages to get it active, and then she's going to be able to eke out of her end. So now she just needs to hope that she can flip a tails and stay asleep, which she does. So that was really the best thing she could have done there, especially with my small hand size. If I didn't have a supporter, I wouldn't have been able to get out of it, but I do have the Oak, and then I top deck the other one too. So going to go ahead and play the Oak, grab a Junk Arm. That's going to get me a catcher, and that is going to end the game. So a real quick match. Most Electrode matches tend to be very fast just because they give up prizes so quickly. But yeah, so there's that. Suggestions for decks are always welcome. I mean, I won't promise that I'll use a deck you suggest, but I have taken viewer suggestions in the past. If something sparks my interest, just make sure that it's actually playable, like with glitches and stuff. Or maybe, you know, I'll just come up with something on my own, and maybe I'll just do Chandelure again. So leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I'll have more coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.